Okay, I'm taking one of the Dollar Tree pineapples, and I'm going to take the tags off. I'm going to remove the string. I don't want that in my way. I'm fixing to paint this thing. So I'm going to take a yellow, it's apple barrel. I get it from Walmart, and it's just acrylic paint. You can choose any shade of yellow you want. It's your choice. It's your pineapple. Just going to give it one coat of yellow paint. And then, of course, you're going to see me scrape paint off and put it back in the jar because that's just me. Now I'm going to take my Waverly wax and I am going to put X's all over this, which I later smear in because I don't like it. Okay, now all my little X's or whatever those things are on there, and I'm going to take this green paint that I've literally had since high school, like seriously. And I'm almost 50, so that tells you how good the paint is, I guess, huh? And anyways, I'm going to take this paint and I'm going to paint the top of my pineapple. Okay, now I'm going to take some Waverly wax and a thin brush, and I'm going to pull some of that Waverly wax from the bottom of that stalk, stem, leaves, that green thing, all the way to the top and fade it out, which I don't really think matters in the end. Then I realize I don't like my little X's, so I'm blending all that wax into the pineapple, which actually looks 10 times better in my opinion. Now I'm going to dip my sponge back in that paint and I'm just going to smear it on to try to blend some of that brown in with the yellow. Okay, now I'm going to blend in the Waverly wax, the brown, at the top. Then I am going to look at it and wonder what I'm going to do. What am I doing? Oh, in the wonderful world of Joanna. Who knows? Okay. So now I'm going to take my wax and drag it around on here and blend it in and try to make it have some dimension and some shape to it. Okay, so here I am going to put this decal on there, and I'm making sure that there's no debris on there, and then I'm going to cover it. Then I'm using my little heat press here, and I'm setting my heat press at 320 for 20 seconds, because this is heat transfer vinyl, it's not sticky vinyl. So then I'm going to peel my transfer paper off from the heat transfer vinyl. I love to heat transfer on wood. And there it is. Okay, now I'm going to take these sunflowers. I probably got these at Hobby Lobby. But anyways, they're just little paper flowers, and she loves sunflowers and pineapples. So I am going to glue this boxwood greenery pieces down first, and then I'm going to take my little sunflowers and I'm just going to glue them down as the crown. Now I'm just going to take my jute string that was on it and I'm going to string it back through there. And I'm going to tie a knot, and that's going to be the hanger, and she's done. For my next easy project, I'm just going to take this Rust-Oleum stone and paint this water can that I got from Dollar Tree. Okay, now I've got the spider plants that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to take all the tags off, and there's my little water picture that was silver that now looks like stone. I did 2 of these, and it literally took the whole can of paint. Like, seriously, I was tripping. But anyway, like I said, I'm just going to take the tags off of these. And this one is so simple. All you need is paint to paint the bucket of your choice and your plants. And that's basically all I'm doing. Okay, now I'm just going to take this piece of styrofoam that I got at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to stick it down in there. I'm not even taking the cover off or the plastic, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't even matter. These just stick right down in there. And I'm just going to stick them in there. And then I'm going to fluff them out. That's easy peasy. Okay, I'm done. That was easy. Now I'm just going to take one of these little glass trivet things I found at the Dollar Tree. I thought it was like so super cute. Okay, I'm just going to take this. I'm going to take the plastic off. I'm going to use a succulent that I love and some essential oils called ylang ylang. I'm almost positive it's how you pronounce it. It smells flowery. And I'm just going to take some Epsom salts. You get these at the Dollar Tree, Walmart, anywhere. And I'm just going to fill my little jar because I needed something in it. And it's kind of little, so rocks would be like a little bit too big, I thought. So anyways, I'm just using Epsom salt. Plus, when I put my essential oils in there, it smells wonderful. Okay, I'm going to add a little, just a few drops of my essential oil, and then I'm going to stir that up in there so that it gets all through the Epsom salt because it will smell better that way. Okay, I finished filling it up with Epsom salt. Now I'm going to take my succulent right out of that little pot, and I'm going to clean all the styrofoam because it was glued in, so the styrofoam stuck to it in the glue, and get as much of that off as I can and stick it down in there, and I'm finished. Okay, so this is kind of a recycled project. I've had this jar. These are flowers that I got from Dollar Tree in the spring, And if you follow me, then this jar you will know came from Hobby Lobby on a clearance. It's like a milk jug, and it has a chalk front. And all I did was take my spring flowers out, which are not in season anymore. And I'm just going to throw these wildflowers in there. And I'm trying to write with chalk wildflowers, but it won't work on this chalk front piece. So I erase it. And then I'm going to get a chalk marker from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to write wildflowers on this. Now I'm just going to stick my wildflowers down in here and spread them out to where it looks good to my eye, and I am done. Okay, I'm going to take one of these little cloches or dome or whatever you want to call it from the Dollar Tree. I drilled a hole in one of the tumbling tower blocks. I have my Loctite super glue and roses from my stash of million flowers. And my daughter's like, "What are you trying to do, Mom? Are you trying to make like a Beauty and a Beast thing?" And I'm like, whatever, I think I love roses, and I thought it was pretty. So I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to do what I want to do. Okay? So, there. So, anyways, I'm just trying to measure. Well, when I did that, I forgot to account for the block. Duh. I had a moment. So, I do have to cut the rose down some, and then cut it down again, and then cut it down again. But, anyways, I finally got it to go in there. Okay, when I flung my hand, I said to myself, "This does not look full enough." Yeah, I talk to myself sometimes. Okay, so I popped another rose off, and I'm gonna disassemble them, and I'm gonna smush them together, put them back together, and make my rose fuller. Now I'm just going to take the super glue here, and I'm going to put it on the Jenga block, tumbling tower, whatever you want to call it, from the Dollar Tree, and glue that down in the middle. There was a hole in the cloche already, but it was too big to hold my flower stem. So this is what I done. And then I put my rose in there. And I believe this is when I realized that it was too tall, and I had to cut it down again. Okay, now I got some floral moss that I got at the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to glue some of that around that block at the base of this rose. Okay, so I have this little local and fresh milk container that I got at the Dollar Tree. I have some sticks from my yard, and I have Q-tips from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm going to cut a butt ton of tops off of these Q-tips at an angle. If you don't know what I'm doing, I am going to make pussy willow branches because I just think they would be so farmhouse and so cute in this little milk thing. And everyone that I find are so stinking big that it wouldn't work even if I cut them down. So I'm just going to take my Q-tips that I cut at an angle, and I'm going to hot glue them to the branch to make it look like pussy willow branches. Then when I made enough, I just arranged them in my little milk container and I am done.